Hi, I'm Flathead Associate News Editor Ariel Cohen, here for another episode of That Guy with Senior Chris Rack. So Chris, what have you been up to recently?
Not too much, Ariel. Most of my time these days is going a lot towards schoolwork. I'm an international relations major and computer science minor, and I spend a lot of time at the Career Center. That's where I work part-time.
Oh, cool. So can you tell us a bit about your job at the Career Center?
Yeah, sure. Well, recently, this has been a really busy season for us. This is when everybody's applying to internships and jobs, so there's a lot of action going on there right now. The past couple weeks, we've had a couple career fairs, and today starts actually our full-time interview, so there's a lot of people there right now. I know just last week, or a couple weeks ago, we had our entire school-wide internship and career fair.
Oh, wow.
We had a record attendance.
Oh, cool.
A ton of employers showed up, and a lot of cool business cards and a lot of free stuff.
Anyway, so you said you had record attendance. That's great. Now, do you think that these employers are really looking to William & Mary when they're looking to make new hires? What about William & Mary attracts so many employers?
Well, I think with a lot of schools, something like a technical school or bigger schools, they look for a specialty. Like, for instance, not a lot of employers come here for engineering because we're not a very big, science or engineering school. But what they do come here for is they come to William & Mary because they know that students here can work hard and they have the capacity to understand and to take on whatever task they give to them in the workforce, whether it's in an accounting or finance field or a consulting field or what have you.
Yes, and definitely the business fields such as accounting, finance, consulting are very prominent here at William & Mary. So I know last week over at the business school they had a Meet the Firms Friday event that you were very involved in. So how did that go?
It went super well. Me personally, I'm not in the business school or the accounting or finance thing, so that wasn't really my game. But I know a lot of other kids made some great connections. They got a lot of business cards, a lot of resumes were exchanged. And I even met a couple of students who were there representing their own companies. So students who came back from internships over the summer were there recruiting their peers to come back. So it was really interesting to see because this stuff actually worked. If you go there and you network, you can actually get a job or an internship.
Wow, that's really awesome. Yes, I saw the alumni wearing the little pins that said what year they graduated and where they worked. It was pretty cool.
There's a lot of William & Mary people in and around, I guess, the DC metro area, and in all industries. It's really cool.
That's awesome. So now, completely switching gears, last semester you studied abroad in Italy, and now you're obviously back on campus. So how has that transition been? What was your semester abroad like?
Well, I think the reason I went to Italy in the first place was to get a fresh perspective, just to kind of leave the William & Mary bubble for a while and just see something new, and I definitely did that. I was able to live in an apartment with a couple other classmates from William & Mary, spent weekends traveling, spent the days going to classes and learning from the perspective of the times here. So it was a great change, and coming back here was actually a little bit different. I didn't know that there was such a thing as reverse culture shock.
Oh yeah.
Where you have to fit back into life in America or life at William & Mary. I've noticed that there's a difference between life in America and life at William & Mary. So getting reacquainted was an interesting experience. It was difficult at times, but eventually after seeing enough people and getting back on the terrace or just walking around campus again, it felt like home again. It felt really nice.
Yeah, William & Mary definitely has very much a community kind of homey feeling.
It does, yeah.
So it sounds like you were taking sort of completely different classes than you normally take at William & Mary when you were in Italy. How was that? What was your favorite class?
I think my favorite class was our conflict mediation class. The entire semester kind of revolved around this idea that, by understanding anthropology of violence, understanding the history and the politics behind conflict, as well as like the nitty-gritty details of like resolving an issue between a couple people, you can understand, or at least begin to understand, international conflict resolution on a larger scale. So my favorite class in all of those was a mediation course where it was maybe about 6 of us in the entire class, but we would all work together to actually go through, like an issue, say, you had a noise complaint, and I was the loud neighbor, and you were the one trying to study. we would actually lead through a conflict mediation session where by the end of it we'd have a written agreement as to who would do what, and it was really cool because I can see it being really applicable, not only in my studies but also just in, life.
Yeah, and that was something really interesting to learn about while abroad.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
That's great. So now that you're back on campus and you're a senior, this is your last year, what would you say you're looking forward to most this year?
I would say having fun and just relaxing with my friends the most. I know everybody works super hard in those 2 years between their sophomore year and their junior year. So I think my senior year will be my last year to continue to work hard, continue to do it well, but also to just enjoy everything and take notice of everything around, because before I know it, it's going to be gone. But it's going to be just recognizing and appreciating the small things here.
That sounds like a great goal. Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Thanks, Ariel.
And if you have anybody you'd like to see on That Guy, please email the Flat Hat Online.